to add on the larva as that second queen does finish. And the question is, what will Huk do on this map? Look at how spread open this natural expansion is. On Lost Temple, you could always wall off this front easily, but not on Shattered Temple. Looks like it's going to be the 3-gate, as we've seen Huk demonstrate a lot of flexibility with that style.
Yep, and we got got Chrono Boost on the Warp Gate that's coming out. We've got the Creep Tumor going down. Queen now migrating over to the natural expansion with some drones following right behind. Again, speed about halfway done. It's going to end up finishing right around that normal time. Those initial Zerglings were actually chased out of the natural there by Huk. He puts down the pylon at his ramp, and that could be an indication of an expansion here. We'll probably see Idra try to get a couple more units, maybe a few more Zerglings to peek in there and see exactly what's going to happen, as it does look like the Nexus has gone down while the lair starts, and of course the Roach Warren coming up.
Idra, again, amazing consistency. I mean, for any Zerg player struggling with this matchup, you can literally copy this opening straight to the 6-minute and 30-second mark and have phenomenal timing on all your upgrades, your lair, your Roach Warren. Huk's going to be doing the usual early expand with plenty of sentries, but I do love this one extra stalker that was thrown in there, so he can deal with the Zergling harass a little bit more easily.
Zerglings coming in, poking away. See that pylon. Did manage to see that the Nexus is warping in as well. Forge going down and a gateway. And again, not really going for a complete wall off, but making it much more difficult for those Zerglings to maneuver in, give them one single path to follow. Now, there is a spot here, yes, that they can go through, so potentially we could see another building going there. It looks like it's going to move out.
Some amazingly lightning speed force fields picking off 4 Zerglings immediately. And I love that little play because Huk can easily retreat, but it looks like he might not have that intention at all. We do see 6 roaches popping out right now for Idra. No upgrades quite yet, just purely defensive play. And Huk is doing a great job of manipulating these open spaces.
Yep, and he will choose to return back to base wisely as he gets +1 attack. More roaches coming out. And right now this supply 52 for Huk and 60 for Idra. A little wall there that, again, you can funnel units through. That extra gateway is down, took the gas, and then actually canceled that. And also haven't seen Huk go for any sort of forward pylon quite yet. Sometimes we see him put it down very, very early in the matchup. But if I'm not mistaken, I see Idra taking out the rocks to his gold there with those roaches. So potentially going to expand there for a quick third? No.
Looks like he's having some second thoughts about that, but again, going for the burrowing plus tunneling claw combination, continuing to get more and more drones as well. Idra, again, very, very responsible about making sure his drone count is extremely high, but I'm a little concerned about this 5th gate coming up from Huk. That could potentially mean a really quick attack. We're seeing that sentry count very high, 10 sentries, and Huk's moving out with an MC-style mass sentry force right at the 9-minute mark.
And will be interesting to see if this will be successful. Zerglings on hold position at the Zelnaga Tower will be chased away, and he did get a good look at that army. So response, well, Burrow's going to finish, Tunneling Claws is going to finish, and no observer out at that point. There's the pylon just on the outside of that creep, and it looks like he is going to move forward. Force fields can do some serious damage here. They do separate out a few of those roaches. We have 9 more on the way. They will go ahead and burrow it, basically stopping any damage from being done. Pylon is in the back, but he can move forward and start working on the queen and any drones as well. Got to watch out for those roaches popping back up, but as they individually pop out, he can take them out as well.
And here comes all the roaches from Idra. There's the unburrow. We do see another force field on the ramp. We see Idra able to unburrow and immediately reinforce, but there is a lot of Idra left the game.
Wow.
Congrats to Huk for winning 2-1 against Idra. Advancing actually 1-2 against Idra. Idra apparently just leaving that with a lot of frustration. I mean, the unit count from Huk, as we re-examined, was far too high. Only 12 roaches against a grand total of 7 stalkers. We had those 10 sentries and a couple more zealots also in the fray. Huk just having an amazing timing push there in that last game.
And you also got to consider, again, the psychology of that matchup. Huk revealing he didn't have to say anything, but you know what? A little bit of edge. Hey, just so you know, like a friendly tip, they were hallucinated Void Rays. Idra didn't really want to hear it. And you know, ultimately, again, I mean, I can't stress it enough. You if you play with emotion, you often can make many mistakes. You can maybe not have the best judgment in the world. Not necessarily saying that's what happened here, but something to consider. Huk really played well. I think the end of that last game, or the game 2, is something that will sort of go down in esports history. So I'm glad that we had this history lesson, Day 9.
Yeah, to get the chance to see it live, because of course while we were commentating the matches up here, Idra versus Huk was going on out there. We had no idea that that was the outcome. I mean, I think a lot of people thought that the Greater Spire dying due to the fact that there was no creep was going to be the big topic of the day, but as it turns out, the hallucinated Void Rays, a brilliant little play there by Huk, ideally to help him get a little bit of a tactical advantage, but I don't think he realized how ideal the outcome could be. I mean, just a very shocking result in that second game.
And this morning, JP and I were actually talking about the fact that we've seen hallucination used more for the scouting. And in the past, we have seen these fake army hallucinations, like, you know, do some damage. More on like ladder, right?
Tanks and
exactly. Stuff. But to think that we would actually see it utilized in a game like this here today, you know, I'm kind of glad. Again, StarCraft continues to evolve, and that was a pretty awesome strategy. Idra does go down, and Huk takes the win.
So, pending the outcome of Kiwikaki versus Huk, we will see who that #1 seed is, and that will wrap up the casting coverage for the day. Doobly will be starting bright and early tomorrow, Dr. Weed, as we got to go through that entire championship bracket where all those seeds that have been playing out in the last 2 days are going to play out, with some people starting off farther in the tournament against weaker players, other people having to play a lot more rounds.
Yeah, and official start time, I believe, well, I'm not even going to throw out a time because I'm not going to pretend to know. I don't know at this time, but you are right. Still a lot more games to be played here, and definitely had some fun today watching those games, and some very, very interesting ones. I also got to watch the ones that you and JP casted, so took a seat in the crowd and just kind of enjoyed it.
I'd like to give a big shout out to the crowd that made it out today.
Yes.
Huge props to all of you for staying